I'm not helping kids. It's not what's happening here.
No.
I'm not helping the sick. Those afflicted in third world countries.
It's their fault.
We're trying to...
Well, it sure as hell ain't mine.
I don't know if in a million years I've ever heard somebody sound so much like Ebenezer Scrooge. If there's one thing I can say for this podcast, Steve, that it has done, it has successfully removed the remaining bits of self-esteem I had about speaking into a microphone. And for that, you know what? No, I'm not thankful. Who am I kidding?
Robert has moved on to greener pastures.
Yeah.
We put him down in the off season. It's just... I mean, anyone who sees somebody that runs like that knows that they're just moments away from putting a blanket, holding up a sheet in front of them, and how's Robert doing?
Good. I think probably better before he just heard that.
Is he still listening?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he does a lot of driving at work.
Time to time.
So he'll. There's no doubt he will hear that.
Hey, Robert.
He'll be back.
Miss you, buddy.
I think we might as well get it out of the way right off the top. There will be no softball update this week, and that is not because of any pending litigation.
Yeah,
it is simply because we were rained out at the last possible second. I mean, we were walking out to the field.
Yeah, we had we all got to the field last week. We were warming up, doing our calisthenics.
Yeah,
touching our toes and reaching for the sky.
Yeah,
and then very bright lightning, and that rolling thunder came rolling in from across the pasture. And
it was maybe 2 or 3 minutes before our game time. So
yeah,
I mean, I was ready to play. I was willing
to.
Well, listen, one strike of lightning and roll of thunder isn't going to deter your starting bench player from properly taking the bench when the game starts.
Yeah. Left out, I believe they call that position. That's what they called it back when I was in Little League. Left out. Kyle, you're starting at left out. What's left out?
2 for 4.
Means you're not playing, buddy.
2 singles. A run scored.
Mm-hmm.
And I get dropped in the batting order and benched.
Well, you're not batting 600. I mean, oh my God. Maybe if you're batting 600, you'll catch the coach's eye.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
And he'll put you in. Yeah,
a little flash.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little.
Maybe if you didn't round third base and start walking towards home.
Hey, that's a run scored. That's what that is.
Taking off your running gloves or whatever you were doing.
That is a run scored. And I won't hear anything else about it.
Mm-hmm. It's Monday, May 7th, 2018, the year of our Lord. It's the Steve and Kyle podcast. Welcome back for another week. We have a new poll up on Facebook and Twitter, just posted as we were starting to record this. That has to do with the side gig. I believe the exact wording is our beef with Steve's side gig legitimate, or are we being babies? And your options are yes, they are meanie heads, and no, suck it up buttercups.
Now, I think everybody who's listening knows how to vote here. Mm-hmm. They know how wounded I have been and how Steve has been.
Yeah.
We have grief counseling bi-weekly. We can't afford weekly.
No.
Bi-weekly, after the show here, we meet with a grief counselor. We have to shoo away the parents who have lost children. And
sorry, time for the real hurt. Out of here.
Move it. Pay for private if you want. Time for the big boys to step up to the plate.
Yep.
Let me tell you how my coworkers fell asleep while I talked.
We already have a bunch of votes. Let me refresh.
No, don't do this.
I don't want to do it either because I'm worried. I'm worried as to where this one's going to go. I feel like their allegiance, their greater allegiance, is going to be to the parent, the father show.
Now, I told you right before we started recording, this might do it.
Yeah, this is just your latest in.
It has been a while.
Just your latest threats to leave.
But I swear to God, if this poll goes south, and it's ruled by the audience that Steve and I are being babies and that we need to, quote, suck it up buttercups, I will walk out of this studio and I will never come back.
Well, so far, there are 10 votes. I account for one of them. You also account for one of them.
Is that on Facebook?
Yeah, and your brother accounts for one of them, and the poll is 50-50. So...
Oh, well, in case you're looking for a real lift me up, Twitter's not going any better.
No, where are we at there?
We are down 55 to 45 on that after 11 votes, Steve. Again,
right.
Very early. Please, save the podcast. This is it. I swear
This is it?
I'm out of here, man.
We don't get to 100.
93's it.
We are 6 weeks away from our 100th episode.
Yeah, this poll goes south. This podcast goes south. That's how this ends. That's how this ends.
Do we have anything special planned for the 100th episode?
We should probably think about that as we are. This is episode 90. Yeah, 6 weeks away, like you said.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe we take a week off. Maybe a month off.
That's the one.
That's our surprise.
That's
our
big thank you for being around for 100.
Yeah, and we'll tease it like hell. Like, oh, you don't want to miss next week.
Yeah.
And then we just won't do one.
I think.
And then we'll come back and we'll do episode 101.
Right.
So we'll just skip it. And then and we'll always reference it. Oh, the glory days. Oh, that 100th episode. All those guests that we had on. The times we had.
The celebrities.
Yeah.
All the fanfare. We took calls.
Yeah, remember when Maury Povich called in?
Yeah. To determine that we weren't the father.
Tell us how much fun he's had over these last 2 years listening.
I don't think it's a terrible idea if we could try to scrape together maybe the Loose Ends episode or some type of live episode that we could then package and release. That was fun the last time we did it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think our audience has changed a little bit since then probably.
Yeah.
And by change, I mean swapped out like 100 listeners for 100 different listeners. Mm-hmm. We haven't grown.
No.
There's no doubt about that.
If anything, we've shrunk.
Yes.
Well, actually, yeah. The first episode of this podcast remains the most listened to, the most downloaded episode
I
ever.
don't think it'll be touched.
No. Yeah, a lot of people thought that there was going to be more
more
dirt,
something.
a little more gossip, but no, instead you got, hey, man, it's it's well, I don't know why we both sounded like Bruce Springsteen throughout the whole episode, but
channeled our inner Bruce at the start of this podcast.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, it's
Don't go back and listen to that one.
Please don't.
I mean, it hasn't gotten any better. We just don't talk like this anymore.
Right. The content's no different. I mean, for God's sake, we're arguing about nuts in a shell and James Earl Jones voice. So if you think we're...
man, I haven't done that
in been
like
a few weeks.
Yeah.
It has been a few weeks.
Ray.
Oh, that's it. We need to pare down the entire impression to just the name and word Ray.
People will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
I mean, it's good, but you ISO that Ray, and you got movie magic.
Ray.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting better.
And again, that goes
Fine
out to
wine.
We are businessmen in the purest sense, Steve, because we have now had two people on multiple occasions reach out to us about advertising on this stupid thing. We have responded to 0 of them. We made a shock mount and a half off of a 60 T-shirt order. It's safe to say we really know what we're doing, which brings this up that we totally dropped the ball on this week. But I do not want to let fade into the lore, if you will, of the Steve and Kyle podcast. And that is the need for the Steve and Kyle podcast small suburb billboard campaign.
No, we have another one?
No, this is the only one. We just need to do it.
I mean a new billboard.
Oh, no. We still...
Oh, of course. Yeah, what we talked about last week.
We need to crowdfund this thing.
Yeah.
And we need to have the big ceremony where we throw a dart at a map and we pick a general area of where we're going to advertise this podcast.
Yep.
The problem is if it's in Midwest Michigan, we are wasting our money. Of course, it would make our field trip pretty close.
Yeah.
But this needs to happen, and I don't want to let it fade into oblivion, like so many other of our cockamamie ideas that we've had over these few years.
Hashtag, what was it? Hashtag loose ends.
This
has all the potential in the world to be on that list.
And safe to say, this is the biggest one. I mean, we somehow organized a Boston trip in like a 30-minute conversation. Yeah. And now that was expensive to a degree. This is more undertaking in terms of...
That actually wasn't super expensive, though, because remember we flew on that school bus with wings. And, like, I was just happy to have a seat.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think that whole trip cost us about $150.
Right,
total.
They strapped me down to a Craftsman tool chest.
Yeah.
And said, here, enjoy this. Oh, and a cup of water. It's not cold.
Yeah, even the woman that got sucked out of that plane was like, man, that sucks for you guys. That's a rough flight.
I mean, she died.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Uh-huh. So you think this dead woman is looking at us with sorrow and like, man, you guys, that must suck. I can't imagine anything worse on a flight.
I feel bad about that one.
There could be nothing worse to happen, is what you're saying, on a flight than having a poor seat.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
That's safe to say. So we organized that. That happened, but again, that was just us two. This is a larger scale campaign. Mm-hmm. And by that I mean when we do post something about it. Notice how I say the word when, not if. Mm-hmm. When we post a link or anything to this, it is going to be as much the responsibility of our fantastic listeners who send us gifts, candy, shirts. Oh, it is demolished.
That is a massive pile.
The biggest mistake we made.
Cookies and cream Hershey's Kisses.
Yeah.
By the way, there's, I think, 4 left.
The biggest mistake we made, Steve, was not opening these sooner. The cookies and cream Hershey's Kisses are a delight that humanity has yet to embrace in its fullest sense. You need to come around.
Dare I say, this
statement.
is good. This is as good, if not better, than a Lucky Billy bar. You leaving?
You take it back. You take it back, and you don't apologize to me. Okay? You apologize to the world.
And to Billy especially.
To that stock photo of Billy. You apologize, Steve, because you know damn well that nothing is better than the Lucky Billy bar. We need... Now, we had a couple listeners... Boy, I'm already getting crazy sidetracks. Let me finish this thought first. The time is going to come here soon when we tweet something and post something on Facebook about the crowdfunding campaign to get a billboard in an unknown city. And unknown city reserves the right to be changed based on how much we crowdfund. Mm-hmm. And the responsibility is then going to fall on our fantastic listeners, like I said, who give us gifts and show up to Steve's side gig with our apparel on. Just a crazy outpouring of support to share that and pass it along to as many people as possible. Otherwise, I don't know how big a billboard we can get for the $40 Steve and I are promising to this. And we haven't even promised that. But I figure a $20 a piece is a fair starting point for Steve and I.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the longest of marathons starts with one step or something. Yeah. Is that a saying?
Well, I mean, the shortest of sprints starts with one step as well.
Sure.
So the walk to my mailbox also starts with one step. Does that mean I'm as good as a marathoner?
Yeah. So I'm looking at the video, the short video that I'm assuming it was Zach that posted to the Lucky Billy bar at Lucky Billy bar on Twitter.
There's already a problem because we need to consolidate this. Now I don't know who the second listener was, but somebody poached the at Lucky Billy bar, mm-hmm. where I assumed Zach would get to it. Zach was left in the dust by an unknown listener. I don't know who it was.
Somebody squatting on it?
So it's one of our listeners. Mm-hmm. But so Zach then took Lucky Billy candy. So we need to decide, Steve, as a podcast and as the co-fathers of the Lucky Billy bar, of course, 5248.
Yeah.
We need to decide which Twitter account we're going to support.
Wait, but who tweeted from at Lucky Billy bar the video?
I have a feeling was that not the same video that Zach had posted?
Was it? Oh, I thought it was a little bit longer because this one's 21 seconds.
You might be right. Maybe it's consolidated. We need to figure this out. We can't, in good conscience, support and endorse two Lucky Billy. Listen, we're all in this fight together to take down the evil monster known as Snickers. And all we need...
Well, I mean, Snickers are delicious.
The evil monster
I
known as
very much
Snickers, Steve, is going to fall at the feet of the confectionery delight known as the Lucky Billy. And
all I know is 2 days ago, Elon Musk tweeted, okay, just for sake of argument, what do you wish for in candy?
Sure.
Lucky Billy Bar replied directly to Elon Musk, saying, the delicious Lucky Billy Bar, just a touch of pretzel with not a nut in sight. And then there's this 21-second video.
You should try the new Lucky Billy Bar. It's a chocolate-based candy bar with just a touch of pretzel.
Hashtag just a touch of pretzel. By the way, here, actually, I'll make that full screen so you can see it.
Oh, we need to get. We need to have this much more viewed than the 22 views it has. This needs to be on our page
from the top because it's just so damn good. And I'll be honest, this is the first I've listened to it.
I have not listened to it at all. There might be curses.
I watched the video, but I didn't actually turn it up.
You should try the new Lucky Billy Bar. It's a chocolate-based candy bar with just a touch of pretzel and no damn nuts inside. Pick one up today wherever candy is sold.
Then it shows calories 175, total fat 10 grams, pretzels just a touch, nuts 0.
Like every...
Brought to you by the Stephen Kyle Confectionery Cooperative. Just do it.
Why isn't this in our hands?
This is the greatest. I thought for sure you had seen it, mainly because you replied to it saying need in our life.
I just saw the first few seconds and I just assumed it was but that's a close up.
It does look like the original one that he sent us that had like Crazy Train under it or something.
Yeah.
But
oh, look at that. I'm sorry. Zach looks like he got a hand on it. I didn't even notice this. Lucky Billy Candy tweeted the great candy schism of 2018 has ended. At Lucky Billy Bar will be the home for official updates as we have joined forces to defeat the Snickers menace, which is all true. So that is amazing. That needs to be our 7th follow, by the way.
One more time, I need to listen to this.
You should try the new Lucky Billy Bar. It's a chocolate-based candy bar with just a touch of pretzel and no damn nuts inside. Pick one up today wherever candy is sold.
That's the part that killed me, was that screenshot of calories 175, total fat 10 grams, pretzels, just a touch.
And nuts. Here's the only note, like as a studio head, now listen, we're the brain trusts of this operation. But obviously the creative has been totally taken over in an overwhelmingly delightful fashion by Zach. Here's the only studio head note I would give. The 0 under nuts needs to be bigger. Like, I want that thing to encompass the white square.
Either that or it has to say absolutely none.
Yeah. I like 0, but maybe like one of those old-timey zeros. Do people still do that? The 0 with the slash through it to point to show that it's not an O?
Yeah, that's that really would drive it home.
That'd make it pop. I want people to know that there are absolutely never any nuts, and there won't be a special edition Lucky Billy candy bar.
No,
there will be no nuts. Well, that is tremendous. That is our newest.
There won't
follow.
ever be a white chocolate.
I think white. You know what? I shouldn't have made such a broad sweep there. I think
Zach?
there will be Lucky Billy bar special editions with white chocolate, just a touch of pretzel, and still never any nuts.
Mm-hmm. No,
but
sorry, I'm
eating a candy. Yeah.
Now, will the sister candy still be called Lucky Billy?
Oh yeah, like Lucky Billy White. Nope. White Lucky Billy.
It's just gonna be, hey, I'm Billy White. For new Lucky Billy White.
No, this is gonna be fine. We're gonna have the white Lucky Billy and the black Lucky Billy, the dark Lucky Billy, and we'll just. You don't think so?
Well, yeah, something about that sounds weird.
But what if we just changed the person on the wrapper for the dark chocolate Lucky Billy
to what?
Like it'll be a white person with a dark wrapper.
And then what will the other one be?
White person with that wrapper.
I feel like we're getting into an area that's going to quickly bring on the demise of the Lucky Billy bar.
Forbes magazine about the newest candy startup that went racist and went under in less than 30 days. So please do follow that. That is the official candy of the Steve and Kyle podcast. That is at Lucky Billy Bar on Twitter. We will tweet that video out as well here.
Yeah.
We don't like to clog up the Twitter feed and the Facebook feed as much, so I like to limit it a little bit, but stay tuned.
That's not going to stop me from retweeting it right now.
Oh, okay, that works, because everybody needs to be exposed to that. Thank you to Zach. And whoever the other person was who grabbed those Twitter accounts that Steve was too busy to do when he mentioned them last week.
Nah.
This is all happening.
I'm still pissed that at Lucky Billy is taken.
I know. I think we shoot the kid a message, or whoever it is. We send him a message, say, what's it going to take? You and your 6 followers, we want that handle.
You're squatting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think we can, can't we file some lawsuit saying that they're using our name in vain or something?
Yeah. You got a lawyer for that?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can navigate around the lawsuit paperwork pretty easily, right?
Copyright claims, I'm sure it's easy.
Yeah, just send something off in letterhead, and the problem will be solved very quickly. So we've got, again, you mentioned it last week, Steve, big things happening. The candy bar that's going to take down the menace known as Snickers.
Yep.
Billboard campaign.
The
menace known as
still
Snickers.
A fantastic candy bar.
Overrated, nut weighed down garbage is going to be sitting backseat to the Lucky Billy bar. Now, I don't care what that stupid poll said. Actually, I almost feel like it's time for a re-poll. Now that it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure that the results would be much different.
What if the sentiment of 77 to 23% have changed, polar opposite, and now everybody wants a Lucky Billy? And by the way, I am petty enough that if you don't think I recorded every vote that went anti-Lucky Billy there, when this candy bar is released and Steve and I have bins of them full and we're showering our adoring fans with them, you won't get a single Lucky Billy from me. You can buy it at the store like the rest of you losers.
Let's see. Real quick, I want to touch base on... Oh, boy. Our latest poll's not going well.
Come on.
After 34... Oh, no, make that 35 votes. We're on the losing end. We have 41%. 41% say yes, they're meanie heads. 59% say no, suck it up, buttercups.
On Twitter, at Steve and Kyle. 18 votes, not nearly as many. 56% say yes, they're meanie heads.
Oh, there we go.
I think it's just a matter of time. This podcast, we got a lot of weekend voters. That's what I said about the Halo Top voters as well. I'm sure they're going to be coming in droves in full support of us here coming up. If anybody knows how to start a crowdfunding campaign, wants to just handle that for us as well. Yeah, that seems right for a scam.
Yeah, probably.
We should probably handle that on our own. We're trustworthy.
Now, speaking of Halo Top, you just brought that up. Big news happened here over the weekend. Was that Sunday?
Friday afternoon.
That was Friday?
Yeah, 2 days off.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was Friday. You and Katie came over here, and we had the much anticipated, very highly anticipated ice cream taste test to determine if we could both taste the flavor of our favorite ice cream.
Right.
We did a roughly 15-minute video. That's posted to our YouTube page. If you just go to YouTube, type in the Steve and Kyle podcast, you'll see our channel pop up. Or if you follow us on Facebook or Twitter, it was tweeted out on Saturday morning and also posted to Facebook Saturday morning. Yeah,
we wish there was a way that we could distribute that through the podcast feed like you normally get this podcast, but seeing as we are eternally in the red here, that plan would cost a ton of money to be able to post that video.
Yeah, and seeing the numbers on views for YouTube just doesn't really seem like it's worth it.
Right. It would be very large. So that's why we did it this different way. It's nothing like we're moving everything of ours to YouTube. It was just ease of access to be able to do that.
But what I did do is I took, I think, about a 30-second chunk of it, and I threw it in the podcast feed for Saturday. So you could have at least gotten the sentiment of how it went. And then within that, within the description, there was a link to the actual YouTube download or YouTube watch link.
Yeah. So, like you said, about a 15-minute video where we did what I believe the scientist Steve would refer to as a double blind.
Double blind.
No way that's accurate.
Yeah.
Just double blind, triple secret,
double behind the back, loop de loop. That's what they call it.
Ice cream blind taste test.
Blind. That's
in all the science books. You just got to look it up in the appendix.
Blind. I don't think we use that word enough.
And I'm not coming out of this saying I'm vindicated, but I felt that when we even left the house, I felt like you and I had a difference in opinion on how it concluded.
Yeah, a little bit. So basically what we did was we had 4 different ice creams. We tasted at the same time. We both tasted number 1, then number 2, then number 3, and then number 4.
Sure.
I was pretty easily I was able to pick out which one the Halo Top was.
Yes.
It looked completely different. It tasted completely different. And in this case, different was not good. Tasted kind of garbagey. I believe that there's a point where I say it tastes like smoke. Mm-hmm. I'm not positive if that was the Halo Top one, but if it wasn't, it should have been. And then I was kind of surprised because the one that I really liked, or my ice cream, the Ben & Jerry's, was the first one. The first time I tasted it, I was kind of so-so on it.
Yeah.
So we tasted Ben & Jerry's first, then there was a store-bought, or store brand, then Halo Top, then another store
middle
brand.
Level, yeah.
And then we finished all of them. We finished the number 4, and then I went back to number 1 where there was still a little bit left.
Right.
And I scooped up the remainder of that, and then I really liked it even more the second time.
Okay. So you liked the Ben & Jerry's soup.
The Ben & Jerry. Well, it was, the consistency had deteriorated a bit over the 15-minute video. But yeah, I did like it. Now, I think the mistake we made is we didn't come up with a universal system of rating. So I think I gave that one 2 black diamonds.
Yeah. While
you gave it 2.5 stars.
Yeah, Ben & Jerry's for me ended up at the end receiving 2.5 stars.
Okay.
And then...
But then something else, the second ice cream, I think you gave a 16.
Yes. That was the second or the third one, got a 16.
To my 1.5 stick figures.
And my other second or third option received 5.5 check marks or 6 check marks. Mm-hmm. And that they all paled, though, because the number 4, the fourth option, received 3 Pac-Man ghosts.
Oh, yeah. That's a high rating. That is... That's one that the historians will be talking about for years.
In the history of the double blind, secret blind, behind the back loop-de-loop blind ice cream test.
Blind.
That will be known forever as the biggest upset. Yeah. So we didn't, in our short-sightedness, while we made these joking ways to rate the ice creams, we didn't, before the video ended, officially rate our numbers 1 through 4 after eating them. It's safe to say you would call Halo Top, which was the third option, your least favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Terrible.
But like you said, and I think I would agree too, initially definitely did not notice, outside of, the size of cookie dough or the size of the chocolate chips or whatever, that much difference between Ben & Jerry's, store brand, and an Edie's.
I think if there was one mistake that I made, it was that I didn't, with number 1, I didn't eat the entire sample.
Okay.
So I just kind of broke off a little bit, which had a small piece of cookie dough.
Yeah.
Not a lot of chocolate. If I had eaten the whole thing at once, it would have, because the second one I ate, it was almost all cookie dough and chocolate.
Yeah, so maybe encompass all the flavors in one,
exactly.
You think. Okay.
And that one, I would have immediately said, that's a really good ice cream.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known if it was the Ben & Jerry's. I would have been hoping.
But you enjoyed it. You would.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. One of those was overcompensating marginal ice cream with the world's largest chunks of cookie dough.
Well, I mean, if you're eating a cookie dough, you want cookie dough.
I'm more than okay with it because I'm a guy. I'm not raised, wearing suits and tuxedos and knowing the fancy things in life, Steve. You're talking about a guy who prefers a hot dog over a steak.
Oh, boy.
So if you've got a mid-level ice cream and you want to overcompensate it with right off of like a wall of cookie dough, the world's biggest cookie dough chunks, you have a customer.
Yeah.
That's me.
Well, so then your team Ben & Jerry's.
No, the one that had the massive cookie, in mine anyway, was I think the fourth option.
Was it? Was that?
It was the Edie's,
there was
I want to
Edie's,
say.
and then there was Purple Cow.
Yeah, which is the store generic for this area. I don't know how far that reaches, but needless to say, that video is posted. There's no affirmative answer. I enjoyed the Halo Top, but you are right in the fact that it was definitely a noticeable taste difference.
It was a different color than everyone else's.
Didn't notice that.
It was no, like if all of the other ones were a whitish tan, that one almost looked peach.
My fears were acquiesced, though, because I had told you a couple of times that I was nervous.
Like if you had taken a bite of one and said, "Ugh, that's garbage," and thrown it over your shoulder.
Yeah, because I hadn't had Halo Top in a while. I just we don't buy ice cream in that small of a container. It's I'm not a producer on a radio show. I can't afford that.
the finer things.
So,
well, some of us big shots.
Yeah. Oh, I know. So I hadn't had Halo Top in probably a year, I would say, maybe longer. And I thought maybe it actually does suck. And this is going to be like the realization. I told you that a couple of times. No way. I dug into that chocolate chip cookie dough Halo Top. Enjoyed it just like I enjoyed the birthday cake a year ago. Delicious.
I think you need to follow your gut on that because you had doubt in your mind. You were worried.
Because I hadn't had it in a while.
That speaks volumes, though.
Because I hadn't had it in a while?
Speaks volumes.
Well, in that case, I haven't...
Volumes.
Okay.
Volumes.
In that case, I haven't had Ben &
Volumes.
Okay.
Volumes.
Blind. Double blind.
Yeah, go to YouTube. Just type in the Steve and Kyle podcast. Yeah. Actually, if you just type in like the Steve and Kyle podcast ice cream, it should. I can't imagine there would be any others in there.
If there is, you need to let us know. This is going to be Lucky Billy all over again. Someone squatting on our ice cream video.
Yeah.
Now, I had two questions for you here, Steve, that I had forgotten to bring up at the top of the episode.
What do you got?
First question is, well, more of a statement. I noticed something. Again, it seems like every week I come here, there's something different going on.
The house is ever changing.
Whether it's your ungodly antenna on the top of the house that you put up there in the face of the Lord and smited him with your Sunday Animal House sweatshirt and sweatpants, shorts cut off, and Crocs.
So I was wearing sweat shorts and Crocs.
Yep. Yeah, and you probably had like a half a joint in your beard. I don't know how you...
That's how you store them.
I don't know how you guys...
Let me just tuck it right in there.
I don't know how you kids roll over here. And and then there was the Jeep there. There was... And now the Subaru's there because the Subaru, I'm presuming, will be sold any day now.
It has not been put up for sale yet.
Any day now.
I actually drove it yesterday for the first time in a week and a half almost.
This is all part of my second question. So back to the first question again today. I pull up. A little light in the driveway area here.
Something looked different, right?
And I believe the way I phrased it to you was, why do you hate your future children? Because missing from the side of your driveway was a basketball hoop.
Yeah, it's not there anymore.
So I ask again, what did your future unborn children do to you? Were you so embarrassed on the basketball court that you don't want your future children to even look at the game?
Basketball is a game. Is a sport.
No, that's good.
Is a sport that I was personally never even remotely interested in.
Okay.
You could walk up to me and say, I have tickets for the championship game tonight. I have tickets to the Final Four, the championship game tonight. I have tickets to, Bulls versus Lakers in the
90s, yeah.
Yeah, in the 80s or 90s. Nah, no thanks. Couldn't care less about it. Annette, the same way. We just don't like... Neither of us have... There would never be a time where I would say, hey, you want to go out and shoot some hoops?
Okay.
Not going to happen. I'm not opposed to having a basketball hoop, but this one was... It definitely had some years behind it.
Yeah.
The metal pole that holds up the backboard, like black metal 4x4 post, roughly, completely rusted. The hoop or the backboard, just all stained and sun faded.
Right.
It just looked crappy. Like I every time I pulled up in the driveway, I'm like, I gotta get rid of that stupid thing. So a couple weeks ago, I posted on Craigslist, of course.
Free?
Oh, you
boy.
You come dig it out. You can take it.
Oh, my goodness.
So a guy had responded, and he was going to come here last weekend, but it didn't work out for whatever reason. So I was out in the garage yesterday. I was doing some other stuff, and I thought, hey, maybe I'll send this guy a text, see if he's still interested. I said, hey, do you still want this basketball hoop? And he got back to me. He said, yeah, definitely. I can swing by in about an hour. I was like, all right, cool. And I was doing some stuff out in the garage. I was pretty busy yesterday. So I told him, I was like, I don't have time to help you dig it out. But if you do get it dug out of the ground, like there's a big concrete chunk. Like it's set in concrete.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I was like, you come and dig it out. I'd be more than happy to run out there for a few minutes and help you like roll it onto your trailer or put it up into your truck. No problem at all. Just, let me know. So he got over there, and he gets out of his truck, and he looks at it, and he's like, whoa, that's a lot of concrete. And it is. It's a ridiculously big, like I would say that the concrete patch is probably almost 2 feet wide, like 2 feet in diameter.
Probably for all those Shaq-style dunks the father was throwing down of the previous owner.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe break. He was afraid he was going to rip the backboard right off.
So I could tell that the guy felt kind of bad. Like he didn't want to waste my time or anything. So he's like, I was like, look, man, don't feel obligated to take it.
Yeah.
If you can't dig it out, no problem. I don't blame you.
Sure.
That's why I'm posting it on Craigslist.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. So he said, is it okay if I just dig down so I can see, like dig down next to it? I'll do like a small hole and I can see how deep the concrete goes.
Yeah.
Because if the concrete only goes down 6 inches, 8 inches, we can probably handle it. It's like, yeah, go for it. So he digs down, and like within 2 minutes, he's 2 feet down, and it's still solid concrete. 2 feet down.
So they did not want this hoop going anywhere.
No. So he was like, I don't know, man. Even if I dig this thing out, we're not going to be able to lift this onto the truck. I was like, yeah, no problem. Don't worry about it. And then he said, well, what are you going to do with it? I don't know. I guess because I have like a grinder that has a cutoff disc on it. Mm-hmm. I was like, I guess I'll just cut it off even with the ground for now, and then because eventually we want to get that part of the driveway widened a little bit.
I'll just add it to the list.
Yeah. So
knock out walls.
Yeah, that APS 4.0 coming June 2021.
Listen, folks, I can't stop this train. If nobody steps in and makes Steve make this happen. What was it that we were supposed to be? Oh, we still got to make merch. We were going to use the money from the merch to build the APS 4.0.
I got something figured out for merch.
Oh, do you?
Something that requires basically nothing from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have my attention. Is this an off-air discussion?
Yeah. We'll discuss it.
Perfect.
We'll discuss it later.
Business meeting, right?
Yeah.
That's what we got. Big business dinner with our investors.
With a corner office with the mahogany desk.
Gotta buy dinner for the interns while we talk about their future.
Oh,
and
they're not coming.
They're not coming along for the merch ride.
No. Cy Nolan Ryan Young will not be invited.
That's right.
He did say he wanted to be our intern, right?
I think he'd fit in great.
Yeah.
Just sit him over there in the corner in that chair.
Yeah, but we'll have to turn the chair around so it faces the other way.
Yeah, and then we're still going to put up a curtain.
Hey, idiot.
Hey, look this up.
Throw things at him.
Hey, dumb leg. My Achilles doesn't look as bad as your stupid shin.
Wait, that's really looking at things from your glass house, calling him dumb leg.
Like I said, my Achilles doesn't look half as dumb as his shattered shin.
Yeah, that's true. So going back to this, the guy's out there. He digs 2 feet down, and he's like, I don't think so, man. I was like, all right, no problem. So he asked me, what are you going to do with it? So I told him, I'll probably just take my cut-off wheel. I'm just going to cut it off down at the ground and then get rid of it.
Yell timber.
Pretty much.
As it tumbles backwards towards your neighbor's fence and house.
Yeah. So he said, well, if you're going to do that, can I at least take the backboard? Like because there's the main post, then there's like an arm that comes off that's attached to the backboard. It's just held on by 4 bolts.
Right.
I was like, yeah, we can unbolt that right now if you want it. I figure if anything, that'll give me more motivation to cut the other one down if I just have a post sticking up in the yard.
Figure use this as a way to make you take on another project.
Yeah.
But make sure this post gets taken down that is in no way inhibiting you.
No.
No way ugly. In your way.
No, I just don't like it.
Okay. I mean, that antenna's ugly, but...
Well, you know something? Take a saw up there and cut it down if you really think it's that big.
I don't even know if I've seen it. I don't know. All I know is it's an unholy antenna, Steve.
It's true. Yeah.
And
if that thing had gone up on a Saturday, no problem. But it went up on the Lord's Day.
Yeah.
And the Lord doesn't watch TV on Sundays.
I hope all you get is the 700 club on that darn thing.
So he backed his truck up so I could reach up there. I'm climbing up there on a ladder. I unbolted the thing, and handed it down, set it on his trailer, and he was on his way. And but before he left, he said, hey, if you do cut that down, cut the pole down, let me know. I'll come back and get it. Great. Now, I wish I had just run inside and grabbed my cutoff wheel right then, because I did it like an hour after he left, and it took me 3 minutes to cut the whole thing down.
That quick?
Yeah. The issue is the entire post is filled with concrete.
They were really worried about this thing going somewhere.
Yeah, they didn't want like Shaq coming over and doing a slamma-jamma.
Yeah, that's what they called it. Let's see, it was 1998. He was with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And there was Howard Cosell maybe at that time. And there's Shaq with another slamma-jamma.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, I know my basketball.
Yeah. Look at that. That's a big long ball. He got it.
So I'd cut through 3 sides of the base, and I was about to cut the 4th side, but I was worried that the thing would tip over because 3 sides are cut, so I don't know which way it's falling.
Yeah.
So I went in and got Annette to come out and help me, just to stabilize it while I cut through the 4th side. So I cut through the 4th side.
Are you holding it? I said hold it!
You're doing it wrong!
Hold it better! It's leaning!
It's gonna hit the car!
Do you want to buy a new one? Huh?
If this thing had fallen on a car, it would have crushed it.
Oh, there's no question. Filled with concrete. I don't have a general weight estimate. Well over 1,000 pounds at that point, probably, right?
No, it wasn't that bad because I cut through the 4th side and then I stood up and it didn't take anything to break the concrete loose.
Okay.
Because it's only, it's a cylinder of concrete at that point.
Yeah, okay.
So I cut through the 4th side, stood up, I kind of shook it back and forth a little bit to break the concrete loose, and then I let it fall, and I swear it left a divot in the yard where it fell. And said to Annette, hey, grab that end, let's at least drag it over and put it next to the garage.
Now, I know Annette. She's, I don't know, 101 pounds when she's swimming, and you're asking her to take...
I believe the term is 100 pounds soaking wet.
Yeah, that's fair. That's easier. And you're asking her to take...
like 90 pounds scuba diving.
Well, scuba diving, Steve, she'd have the buoyancy belts and the tanks. It would obviously be close to like 150. I don't know how you'd... This isn't a joking matter. So you decide to ask her to take a hundreds of pounds... 10-foot?
Yeah, 10-foot pole.
10-foot pole filled with concrete.
10-foot metal pole.
You've had people come by and snow blow your driveway when you're on your honeymoon. Mm-hmm. Yet instead of asking anybody to move a 10-foot concrete-filled pole, you ask your bride to do it.
Yeah. Well, she was there at the time, and I wanted it taken care of immediately.
Yeah. It's Steve's house. You just living in it.
That's right. Yeah. It's my world. So I picked up one end. She struggled a lot with her end. I gave her the end that was closer to the destination.
Yeah. So she'd have to walk backwards?
No, so she would she could have just picked it up and kind of like side saddled it.
Sure.
But instead, I ended up walking past her.
So you didn't stop then?
No. So she had to go about 3 feet. I had to go about 50 because I was just like walking the perimeter.
Right.
So I dropped it off. We dropped it on the side of the house. I sent that guy a text. Hey, man, got the pole down. It's here on the side of the house. It's all yours if you want it. And he replied to me by not replying. And yesterday at least, I finally got a text this morning saying, yeah, no thanks. I already figured out something else for it.
So we're back to,
I think,
square two of Steve, where you now have garbage on the side of your house again?
Yeah. You know who might be getting a text?
Yeah.
Good old Rick.
Yes.
Because that'll fit perfectly in the back of his Caprice Classic, I think it was.
Now, you thought that thing looked funny with vinyl fence sticking out. How about a 700-pound pole?
I cannot believe how much this thing weighs.
Oh,
it's unbelievable.
So that's where it is. So now you have, I didn't look very closely, but so you just have a sheared off.
Yeah, there's still like a 2-foot diameter patch of concrete with a little square chunk of concrete barely sticking up because it didn't break off completely even. But yeah, that's what we got right now.
What's the plan? Oh, that's it? You just wanted the pole gone?
Yeah, I just didn't want it there.
Now you have a hazard right out to the side of your driveway.
Hazard how?
I mean, it's a protruding piece of concrete.
Well, it's no more protruding than it was when there was a hoop there.
Okay, that's fine. Looks great.
You want the hoop? I'll give you a good deal on the pole.
Oh yeah, I hate basketball.
Do you need ballast for anything? Do you need to sink a body?
Just put this pole on top of it and let it go. Very nice. And the other thing, this was on your Twitter last week, and you swore up and down this has all been planned. You tweeted out that you were sitting somewhere for 3 hours.
Yeah.
While the way you put it, while your car was getting work done. Mm-hmm. By car, I'm assuming you meant not the car you're trying to sell, but the car you just salvaged.
Death Jeep.
The murder Jeep.
Yes. Yeah.
So what in God's name did you have to bring this thing to the shop for less than 1 week after having it legally on the road to have work done?
There was on the driver's side door, like the driver's door. Mm-hmm.
That's not the freedom panel.
That is not the freedom panel.
This is the anti-freedom panel.
Door. I mean, typically they're called doors.
I don't know what you guys call it anymore. All you Jeep people.
Well, we call them doors.
Yeah. I mean, I call the top of my car a roof.
Yeah.
You don't. So I don't know if the indignance is necessary.
Well, and for the sake of this conversation, a door is a door.
Oh, no, we're not playing this game again.
So there were, when I first got the thing, I only had it for a couple days before it was sent off to the body shop. So I didn't realize that. I knew that there was a dent in the driver's side door and the rear driver's side door, but I didn't really think too much of it. I wasn't worried about them. I wanted the rest of the thing fixed.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's no big deal. It's probably just a couple scratches. I'll be able to buff it out, and I won't even notice it. Well, every time I would go out to the Jeep, I would notice the dent on the driver's door and the dent on the rear door. I'm like, God, these stupid things are driving me nuts. So I called one of those places that does paintless dent repair. where it's like a body shop, but they don't like sand everything down and weld and do body filler and paint and everything.
So it's not just where they, pop it out or whatever the expression is. Is that what it is?
Yeah, kind of. But they use, like, it's not like they stick a plunger to it and pop the thing right out. They use these these really long tools. They look like really long screwdrivers, basically. And each one has a different tip on it, depending on how bad the dent is. And they fish it down, like, through the door. Like, they roll the window down, and you know how there's a little channel where the window sits. Mm-hmm. And then put these little poles and, like, prodding devices down there, and they pop the dent out from the back. And then the guy sanded it, like wet sanded it, so it just gets all the scratches out of it. And then he polished and waxed it, and the thing looks freaking brand new.
So all this was done while you waited?
It was, yeah.
Okay. I guess I just assumed when you said you were there for 3 hours, because normally, if some auto repair, or, oh my God almighty, the return, and by return I mean first one this week, we have had one. The only week you've missed now, Steve, is April 2.
That was a good week.
Since the conclusion of the Throat Goblin National Championship, you've only missed 1 week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The streak continues. We are on our way to, at minimum, a field of 32.
This has been a rough week already so far. You haven't heard them because they've all been edited out, but I have 7 notes down for coughs and other weird belch noises I have to take out of this podcast. God.
So, because most of the time, if it happens where they tell you, it's going to be this long, you'll either ask for a loaner car or come back or get a ride home. You decided for this 3-hour span to just hang out in the lobby?
No, I sat at Wendy's.
Oh, my God. Did you order once?
I did.
Okay. Because in my mind, like, you get to like 2 hours, they're still staring at you. You go back up and get like another French fry.
No, but I made sure that I sat in a spot that they couldn't see me. Like if you were behind the counter looking out at everybody in the restaurant, there's like a wall in one spot, and it's the wall that has the garbage cans on it and like the ketchup and mustard and everything. Well, it's like a half wall, and then right on the other side of that there's a booth. So I just sat in there, and I brought my laptop with me. I used their free Wi-Fi.
So this is 2 old guys Starbucks.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the young kids will go, where it'll be 85 degrees out, and you'll see no doubt a hipster with a beanie on and like a army jacket.
Yeah, but
so
you typing Wendy's. A letter on a typewriter.
Yeah, right. And listening to a record player.
Yeah.
And so you treated Wendy's like that.
I did, because I took the car in at 1 o'clock or so, and Annette had told me, she's like, well, I can come and pick you up and take you back home. But then I'm like, what? Yeah, but then you'll have to drive a half hour to pick me up, to drive me another 20 minutes, then a half hour for you back to work. Right. By the time you get back to work, it'll probably be almost time to turn around and come back to pick me up to take me back there. So I had told her, I was like, if this guy says he can get it done in a couple of hours, I'll just hang out. So I just planned ahead. I brought my laptop with me and sat at Wendy's, got all my work done, watched a couple videos on YouTube, watched a couple TV shows I had been waiting to catch up on.
Okay.
Walked down the street to the store. I had done a little bit of grocery shopping. By the time I walked back, Jeep was done. Scratches are gone. The guy's like a magician. It's incredible how good it came out.
So you got back to the body shop with a box from Costco, your laptop,
a 55-gallon drum of peanuts,
and a large drink from Wendy's. And you always buy some trinket, so you've got some new sunglasses that you bought at the checkout of the grocery store, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Hey, is it all done?
Got a TV guide in my hand.
Right. And Us Weekly.
Yeah, talking about the latest gossip. Like, hey, you hear who Prince William is marrying?
Right. Okay. So it was worth it for you. You're happy. They're gone.
So happy.
And still, as we mentioned last week, well under budget. Jeep 2018. It's safe to say finally fully complete. Everything you need done. Everything on the Jeep.
Well, it'll never be fully complete.
God, it's like your house.
Yeah. There's always something. I'll always be tinkering with it in some way.
I did notice that when we came over for the ice cream taste test, and actually before that, I believe, I would say about 95% of the trim that you began in the month of March is done. Right?
Yeah, boy, when you put it that way. There have been a couple. There have been two or three week breaks.
Yeah, right. And the only thing breaking up that is a 1 day return to the work, and then back to a 2 to 3 week break.
The only thing that keeps me from wanting to get that done is knowing that I have to then go back and fill all the holes, all the nail holes, and paint. And I hate doing that.
Yeah. But
Annette was like, "Hey, if we get it done, because I'm traveling at the end of next week for work.
Okay.
I'm gonna be gone Thursday I'll be gone Thursday, and for some reason our flight doesn't get us back until 4:00 Saturday afternoon, which is normally we're back by noon, 11 a.m. somewhere in there. Mm-hmm. But just the way that the flights worked out, we're not getting back until 4 in the afternoon. She's like, "Yeah, if you get it done, or if we get it all installed, then while you're away, I can do all the painting and the touch up and fill in the nail holes." And
yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I'll get to skip that part of it. Oh, we're getting it done.
So you're more incentivized than ever to have every piece of trim in the house.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're, at this point, are you still 95? Are you closer to 98? 100% done?
I would say we're exactly the same as where we were.
So about 95.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Will it be done before next Thursday when you depart?
I think so.
All right.
I really think that it would probably be a 4 or 5 hour effort to get it all done.
Okay. That's not too bad considering what you've put in so far.
Yeah, well, and saying that it's 95% done is way generous. It's probably 60%.
Really?
Done. Yeah.
Well, I mean, not counting the paint and the filling and all of that stuff, I guess. I'm just saying having it on the walls.
Maybe 60.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Next Thursday. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll hold your feet to the fire on this when we record in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I walk in this house and I see unfilled holes and, apparently 40% of your trim missing. I'll have some questions for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big project. But the good thing is once this project is done. No. Don't get that excited look on your face.
Come on.
Once this project is done, that's the biggest room in the house, and it'll be done.
Yeah.
So everything else after this is going to feel a lot more manageable.
Yeah.
Like if we want to paint a room and put up new trim, that's a weekend.
Right.
As opposed to this extended, never-ending battle.
Now we're not tight on time yet, but we're going to be there shortly. So very quickly, Steve, what is the next task that you and Annette will be undertaking on this house? Because I'm sure you have it planned or at least thought of, right?
Oh, she has it planned.
Oh, no. What is it?
Well, one that's near and dear to your heart, Kyle.
You are not doing that.
She wants to do a bathroom next.
Oh, God, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't in any way spur that.
Probably a little bit, but that's and I want to. I mean, I want to have a new bathroom.
I'm in.
Yeah,
I am in, man.
You're coming to help?
I'm coming to help. I possess the exact same skills as I did 3 months ago. So give me a wrench or a hammer.
Yeah.
And you got a guy here.
Are you happy with your recent renovation?
No.
No. Do you notice little flaws?
Yes, that's all I stare at.
Okay.
A blemish in the paint here. The idea, that's all I'll see. I know.
Why don't you just repaint it?
What are you, nuts? Think I'm going back in there to do any type of work ever?
So it's how it is now is how it will always be.
This is how it will remain.
If you guys live there until you're 75, that room will not be updated.
No, there's no need to. That's modern. So once it's modern, it stays modern, right?
Right, yeah.
That's how that works?
That's typically the way old people think.
I will have you and everybody in the listening audience know that damn towel rod's holding towels better than any towel rod has ever held towels before.
I can't wait until the first thing fails. Just
please be the sink. It might cause me, or the faucet. It might be more trouble, but as long as it's not the towel rod, I'm going to be thrilled.
Yeah. Well, that towel rod.
You're right.
I mean, That constituted what, like 60% of the time it took
to get that. A lot of man hours put into that towel rod. No, I'm serious. You need a hand? I am in. I'm your guy. As long as you're not doing tile flooring, a new vanity, a new tub or shower. In paint, I don't like paint.
Okay, so what exactly? Because we want to do tile flooring.
Nope.
Vanity.
Nope.
New tub shower.
You hard pass. Huh. And paint, not doing paint.
And paint.
I don't know if you want to paint.
Okay. If we need to put up a towel rod.
Yep. Help hang a mirror.
What about a toilet paper dispenser? Because that's basically like a mini towel rod.
Yeah. I did okay with that. I mean, I'm going to fret about the spacing on it for about a half hour before I actually make the move.
Did you try measuring?
Well, I mean, you're trying to figure because we got a new toilet. Not helping with that either. And you're looking at it, it's like, is it too high? Is it too low? Is it too far back? Whatever,
That's when I go to Google and I say, how high do I put a towel rod? And they say, the standard height for a towel rod.
It would matter that all depends on how tall your vanity is and where your toilet is, how far that sticks out. I mean, you don't want to go by a generic measurement and end up having to fold into a pretzel to reach the toilet paper, do you?
Well, you just sit down on the toilet and you kind of eyeball it. That's what
I did. And then I closed my eyes, reached inside the drawer with my drill, and zipped a few in there.
Right? So we will be starting some kind of project. I think we're going to take the summer off.
That's a good idea. And two, it is. I know you guys have sunk a ton of money in here doing all of the beautiful renovations you've done, plus the antenna. And as I told you, a bathroom is not cheap. We never did this game, but I did want you to guess. Just a percentage of my budget. Now, you know the number. I'm not going to get into the specific numbers. You know the number I wanted to go to, right?
I don't think I do. I don't think I remember.
Here, I'll just type it out.
I think... is it...
Here, I got you. But this number... that I was looking to... I didn't want to go over this number.
All right.
And again, I talked about the size of my bathroom and the scope, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a very reasonable number. I know I did my bathroom at my old house for about 2/3 of that. That bathroom's about the same size, but I also didn't need to replace like the vanity.
Oh, okay. And again, I went into this not knowing. So a percentage of that number. So obviously 100% would be I used all of the budget, didn't go over. Mm-hmm. Anything under would be under 100%. Anything over, obviously, would be more than 100%. Mm-hmm. What do you think I did with the budget for the bathroom renovation of 2018?
I feel like you went over.
I don't know why you'd think that. I mean, it went just like I anticipated, which was a long weekend.
I feel like you went drastically over.
No.
Say 160%.
Ooh. You just overshot 140% of my budget.
Oh, God. That's painful. What was the big money maker or the big money spender?
It was just more supplies than we anticipated. So as soon as we needed to start carving out the wall to fit the new tub in, and as soon as the tub sat a little weird and we needed to figure out something to hide the blemishes above the tub, and then things I didn't even consider, renting a saw especially for tile, and all those little things and supplies added up. Hey, grout. Hey, more grout. Hey, mud. Hey, more mud.
Yeah.
All of these things added up to that massive over. And that was already, the number I showed you was the top end of what I wanted to go to. The first number you signed to me on your hands.
I thought that was
where I wanted to stay.
I was going to say, I thought I remembered you saying that and thinking back then, oh boy, that's pretty optimistic.
Yeah.
Knowing what I had spent, and that was 6 years ago.
And again, I went in blind, so in my mind it was an estimation, and I didn't know about the vanity at that point. I thought we were thinking about renovating it ourselves. So,
so safe to say you're doing it again, right?
You got it, man. Listen, I'm a pro now. I can probably knock that down for you. 20% over budget. I think we get a real good grind going.
Oh, I have to help? You're not just doing it?
Oh no, God no! I mean, if you want to pay me to do it, then the budget's going to be about 80% over.
Okay,
because you got to pay the labor, and
Right.
I'm not cheap. I'm now a handyman by trade. I have installed a dishwasher, a stove.
the dishwasher one is still my favorite.
I had
4 days.
My best friend was in town this weekend from up north, and he listens devoted. Chris loves the podcast, and he listens every week. And he said he laughed so hard when we were describing trying to find the fitting, and how the last time I just went to a store and bought like 6 different ones.
Yeah.
And the fact that even after it, I still had to make 4 return trips because I bought so much extra stuff that didn't work for that stupid dishwasher.
Yeah, that was. In hindsight, we should have done that a little bit better. Remember that was like when we were replacing your garage door spring.
Yeah, we just took off.
We just drove to the store.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, they'll have it.
What size spring do you need? Oh, what color spring is it?
It's a dark one with grease on it.
You know, it's kind of curled up.
Yeah, it's a bigger one. Like about here.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you mentioned you're traveling, Steve. Now you travel a lot, so it's not a big deal for you. Now me, I've talked about it. I hate it.
Yeah, you're not
flying. I despise it.
Yeah.
And traveling this weekend, spending it's pretty much our anniversary.
Oh, that's right. You're going to the Big Apple.
We're headed to the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps.
Just passed, right?
No, it is Wednesday this week, May 9th.
Oh, okay. I was thinking May 3rd for some reason.
Nope, May 9. And so we're headed to the Big Apple, the city that never sleeps.
The real
city
thing to
of sin.
remember about your wedding is the cheese platter that I ate. I'm sure that you guys think back on that fondly as well.
Do you have that picture somewhere?
Yeah, I do.
Because it needs to be posted for podcast listeners.
It would have to be edited.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. But, yeah, we need to figure out a way to show the size and the mass of cheese.
I need to pull that up right now.
That Nestle took from the cheese platter for an appetizer at my wedding. You must, I mean, there's no question. It's like you're at the guy at the buffet line and you're hitting every station and just pouring it onto your plate.
Yeah.
But in this case, it wasn't a buffet. It was one stand with cheese and crackers. And you pretty much stuck your arm out and shoveled it in onto your plate.
Wait, you've been married 3 years
It'll be my
now.
3rd anniversary, yes.
3 years, wow. Okay, so I need to go back to
2015. Yeah.
Oh, I know I have it somewhere. I know
We have to dig that up somehow. And if we can figure out a way, we'll post that because it is still an unbelievable amount of cheese that you took from that.
Yeah. Excellent cheese. I hope we didn't have cheese at our wedding, did we? There was no cheese.
I talked about it. You had like apricot shell hard boiled eggs or something, right? Didn't you guys go to the fancy menu? You said,
"Oh, I found it. Here it is. Here it is."
They told you could either have barbecued weenies or these garlic toasted mussels, and you chose the latter.
Oh, I'm so disappointed to see that the cheese is not actually in the photo, but what is in the photo is the look of absolute disgust from my future bride.
The cheese didn't make it?
The cheese is not in the picture.
Oh, man.
No.
I remember getting somehow... that's a different picture then. The one I had initially received was a close-up of the cheese that you were consuming.
Yeah, I must not have saved that picture.
Oh, man. I'll do some digging. But I'm doing some traveling this weekend. Now, I am not like a picky traveler, but I like to have a lot of things planned. So, like, we already know the main thing we're going to do each day, and then we have a ton of free time after and before to do that. So,
the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, the city of brotherly love.
The Sunshine State, as they call it.
Twin Cities.
The granddaddy of them all.
New York.
New York.
We are headed there, and so for the first time ever, because we wanted to stay in Manhattan. I figure eliminate all of the issues with having to figure out how to get in and out and all this stuff. So
Trains
we were going to do.
You'll be fine. You just stare at that map for about 5 minutes before your next.
Right.
Before you have to go somewhere, you'll figure it out.
No worries. we decided to do an Airbnb, Steve.
Whoa.
And again, we're not very picky in that regard.
You are such a hipster.
I don't need space or a ton of space. The only things I wanted were a private bathroom, because in New York and cities like that, in San Francisco or wherever, it's known for being like a hostel, where it's all I didn't want any of that. I wanted a private bathroom.
Your list of demands was not very long.
Right. And so we found one. It was in northern Manhattan. A lot of people would call it Harlem. And I texted you, I believe.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, is this an okay area? I know the Globetrotters are there, but like, is it a kosher area?
I mean, they seem like they're having fun.
They're always having a ball. Is it a kosher area for, a non-New Yorker to stay here? I just didn't know how the area was. You weren't familiar with it?
Well, I mean, I've been to Harlem once.
Oh, okay. That's what you said.
But it was 10 years ago.
Right.
And I don't know. It seemed fine. I went to like a comedy club there or something.
So my New York guy failed me. So we just went with it. She liked it. Katie liked it. So I said, all right, let's book it. So we did. This was way back. So this was back in March, because we wanted to book our flights, wanted to make sure we had a place to stay, all this stuff. Mm-hmm. So we had our flights booked. We had our place of stay booked. Beautiful. Coming along great. We start looking at activities we're going to do. I wake up Sunday, Steve, to an email. Mm-hmm. Your Airbnb has been canceled.
Oh, boy. They can do that, huh?
Apparently. Don't worry, though. We're going to give you a refund.
We're going to set you up at our neighbor's place.
Right. Yeah, it would be much better. So they give you a refund. But what they don't give you a refund for is the idea that with less than a week until your trip, prices are a bit higher in Manhattan, New York.
A little bit.
So the cheapest place to stay on the island, it was... Oh, I don't know if it was exactly double or a little less than. So that's it. We're not doing it. I don't know what we're going to have to do. So we had to start thinking a little bit differently. And all the time I'm fuming because, again, I didn't know this could be done. You can't just cancel it. Come to find out, the claim is that the person who had stayed there the most recently supposedly absolutely destroyed the place, and they have to the people who live there own it have to repair it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. What can I do, right?
Yeah. You're in a tough spot. You either suck it up and you get the Embassy Suites,
right,
which is no doubt $400 a night.
Oh man,
How many nights? How many nights you staying?
4 nights. Oh, I was going to send this to my wife, and I thought, I can't do this. It's our anniversary. I can't even do this. And it was a place called the World Hotel. And I'm not kidding you. It was above a Chinese restaurant.
It's like the most generic name. World Hotel.
Their website's in broken English. And I thought, you know what? I can't do it. I can't even send this to her, because what anniversary is it where you're terrified to go back to the place you're sleeping?
Yeah.
Not doing it.
I mean, more motivation to see every single
literally
site there
everything.
Is.
Hey, we went through Hell's Kitchen, right? We did? Let's go take another deeper look.
They say that you don't see everything for real until the second time.
Yeah, maybe this time we'll just walk, we won't plan it, right? And then hopefully end up back home. So I'm very excited for our new vacation to Weehawken, New Jersey.
Well, actually, that's a good spot to stay, because you can take the ferry across.
No, it's not even a ferry. We are literally less than a block from the Lincoln Tunnel.
Oh, okay.
To get in, and he said, like,
so you're going to drive into New York City?
No, huh? God, no. We're gonna. He said there's a bus stop that goes like every 5 minutes, 24 hours a day, right into Lower Manhattan.
There is. Weehawken is actually it's a beautiful area.
Is it?
Up high on cliffs, kind of overlooking Manhattan. But there is a ferry that I would take the ferry.
Okay.
Definitely take the ferry.
Probably a little more scenic?
Yeah, much more scenic.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun,
too. As much as we'll be going in and out of the city, we might do that a few times. I don't know the cost difference on any of it. But, like, again, he said there's a bus that runs 24 hours a day from one block from this guy's house.
Like I said, Take the ferry.
Take the ferry. Okay, so, so what you're saying is the bus is a bit...
I don't know if you heard me.
Okay.
Take the ferry.
Oh, boy. Well, this puts a real wrench into a lot of stuff.
So, yeah, you are...
I could Uber as well.
You'll be staying just miles from where I lived when I...
oh,
when
really?
I was there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the pictures looked more than... And again, I say that jokingly because it's a town called Weehawken, and we're going to New York City.
Yep,
but
a girl that I dated in college grew up in Weehawken.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll run into the Klan. The family. And,
I was going to say...
oh, no, not like the Ku Klux Klan. I'm not saying you dated...
I don't know. I'm not really sure how that relates. Maybe that was just unfortunately placed. But I didn't, for the record, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this. I didn't date anyone in the Klan.
That you're aware of.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you
something?
qualify it. Don't you dare.
I'm going to say, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I did not date anyone in the Klan.
No. You're going to get a note or something and get a screenshot from someone like, hey, isn't this your ex? It's going to be...
It's just going to be somebody with a hood on, like, I don't know. Is it? I can't see under the hood.
Could be anybody. Could be Steve's ex. We'll never know. Well, # Steve dated a Klan member. No, we're not going to do that.
Nope.
Don't do that.
No, that would be...
So we're going to Weehawken. We've got a bunch of stuff planned, but that to say that I'd be lying if I said that didn't put a damper on it a tiny bit for me.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, you're not staying where you wanted to stay. You're going to be fine staying there.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun thing. Taking the ferry over, taking the ferry back at night.
The bus.
Yeah. No. Bus is spelled Ferry.
Now, if I do, and again, this is probably after you had left that area, but if I took an Uber, I never understood this. Do I have to pay the tolls?
I would assume that it's worked into the
fare?
To the price, yeah.
Because if I took an Uber, because again, it's like a block from the Lincoln Tunnel, and I think that's a toll, right?
Yeah, and nobody's stopping. Like, I don't think anyone pays a cash toll anymore.
Oh, there isn't? It's all done by card?
Yeah, it's all like Easy Pass.
Yeah, okay. Because maybe that's an option, too. If that's, hey, just bring us, 1 inch into New York and leave us.
You ever think about renting, like, bicycles? Just riding across?
Nope.
Riding through the tunnel?
Nope. Is that something I should?
Yeah, no.
No? Okay. Yeah, it wasn't on my mind.
Yeah.
But now that you brought it up, it's still not in consideration, so I thank you for bringing that up.
That's probably smart.
No, we've got a docket full. I got to bust out my finest Yankees gear. We're going.
Are you going to Yankee Stadium?
To one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, Steve.
Yeah.
Yankees-Red Sox.
Oh, look at you. That's a good get.
It happened to coincide, and I found tickets on one of the aftermarket sites for like $25. And now, of course, I looked the other day just out of curiosity, every ticket's like $50 and up.
Wow.
So we're going to do that. We've got our tickets to the Statue of Liberty in Ellis Island. We're going to go tourist it up.
By the way, Ellis Island is in New Jersey.
Is that technically?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I know they
for years, New York license plates had the Statue of Liberty on them until it was like officially deemed that the Statue of Liberty owned.
Really?
The state of New Jersey owned the Statue of Liberty.
Wow.
Yeah. Suck it, Big Apple.
Taking it back, Jersey style.
That's
Gardens,
right.
Not the Guard State, more like Statue State.
Yeah,
right?
the Liberty State
of Liberty.
State of Liberty.
Give me the Statue of Liberty or give me death. That's what they say.
What's on the license plates.
So we're doing all the touristy stuff. We've got that planned. We've got the 9/11 Memorial, the 9/11 Museum.
Going to the Freedom Tower.
We are no. Is that something I should do instead of the Empire State Building?
Empire State Building's cool. It's check though. I think you can actually buy passes in advance to reserve your spot in line because the line there can be super long.
Oh,
you can wait like 2 hours.
Oh man, we bought our tickets to the Empire State Building after looking into all of how to do it, and then we ended up buying tickets for the day we arrive, and we're actually going to try to go late night.
Oh yeah,
like 10 or 11 o'clock. Yeah, and see the city with the lights.
You'll probably
and everything.
be better up, but yeah, just make sure you check the hours that.
Yeah, I think it said it goes like 2 a.m.
Now the one thing I remember when I was in college, some friends of mine from St. Louis came to visit, and we went into New York City one day, and so they wanted to go to the top of the Empire State Building, so we went all the way to the top of it. Super long line. It was taking forever. And then when we went to go back down, the line to go down is just as long because you're 90 floors up or 100 floors up or whatever.
Right.
So we said, screw it. We're taking the stairs.
Oh, no.
We ran down 100 flights of steps.
How'd you feel?
Fine.
Really?
I mean, you got gravity working with you.
Yeah,
it took
going down's a lot easier.
It took probably 15, 20 minutes.
You probably beat where you would have been with an elevator, though.
Yeah. It's weird, though. I can't imagine they let you do that anymore.
Yeah, maybe a little bit day and age. It's probably a little bit more touchy.
Although that was post 9/11.
Yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I know Katie won't.
Yeah, if you do that, like, get us some views out of it. Do like a Facebook Live.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. This is, and I'm already thinking I need to bring my very own shirt with my face on it.
Yes.
Because, Steve, we are going to a taping of the $100,000 Pyramid with Michael Strahan. Woo, Pyramid! I was just looking for TV shows. I wanted to go to Colbert.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Inexplicably,
Yeah.
Michael Strahan,
Yeah, I don't know how he got the gig.
the man with the worst lisp
Yeah.
in the history of lisps. When you go to the Lisp Museum,
STH is every S that he makes.
that man is somehow on not one, but 2 different TV shows now.
Yeah, and making millions of
And
dollars.
he probably does something for the NFL too, right? Doesn't he?
He does Fox NFL Sunday.
Yeah.
He does Good Morning America Monday through Friday.
And now he does the Pyramid
and now he
Show.
does Pyramid.
The man's on 3 TV shows.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going Friday afternoon. Couple of stars from sitcom. Bobby Moynihan, do you remember him? He's a comedian. And then an actress from...
Oh, yeah.
And then an actress from...
Wait, Bobby Moynihan, wasn't he
He's
on...
a chubbier guy, I think Mad TV or SNL?
Wasn't he... he wasn't Mike and Molly, was he?
No. Bobby
am I
Moynihan's
thinking?
shorter.
Okay.
But then an actress from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's the Andy Samberg television show on Fox. Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, Questlove, who I believe is from the... Is he not from the Roots?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
he's
what
from
it
the
is?
Roots, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought, I put in for us, they moved us up from the wait list to give us tickets. I was like, if we feel like it, Friday at noon. Because they do 2 tapings a day.
And when will that air? Probably months from now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm assuming in the fall or the summer.
Oh, you can... Now, do people... Can you participate in that? Like, will you...
I don't know
is
how
there a
that
chance
works.
I've never... I know the game, but I've never watched how it actually...
I bet not, because I'm sure all the people who are on the show have to be prepped and all of that stuff. I can't imagine they pull somebody from the crowd. Because I got to be honest with you, I don't fully know how the game works. So I would look like a real buffoon on national TV with my face on my shirt.
I'd like to solve the puzzle. No, sir, that's...
No. Where's the speed round, Steve?
Phone a friend.
Is this not Family Feud? So, yeah, I don't know if we're going to do it, but I got us tickets. I tried to get
You have to go. You absolutely have to go. And that, you need to be front and center with that shirt.
I'm going to have to get there way early for that, and I don't want to do that.
And it's so worth it. That would really pave the way for our billboard campaign.
Oh, in New York now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Boy,
then everybody will recognize us.
We've gone from somebody really pushing us way too much for Quad Cities, Iowa.
What was that? Why?
That's Jake. And it's because that's where he's going to school starting in the fall.
Oh, that's right.
And it's the 90th market.
That's where he's going when he abandons the softball team.
Like a real jerk. Yeah. We've got a jam-packed weekend in the Big Apple, New York City. I cannot wait. There's no question I'm going to have... I still remember this story. I've been to New York City once. And I was...
The pizza place.
Well, the pizza place is a whole nother thing. I've told Katie many times this past week. She's like, oh, hey, this guy at work told me to go to Dallas whatever barbecue. And I said, yeah, did you tell him where to stick it? Because we're going to Jay's Pizza on 34th and Lower Manhattan. That's all you need to know about our eating plans in New York City.
So this is your anniversary trip. Mm-hmm. You guys are no doubt going to have a nice romantic slice.
Oh, no, not a slice. You get a whole pie. It's like $8 or $10. It's New York style, Steve.
Right. Right.
And she actually brings back this idea of a deep dish pizza place. Like, I'm in Chicago.
No,
this isn't the Windy City. It's the Big Apple. I'm eating bagels. I'm eating Jay's Pizza. And I'm going to go wait in line for a cronut like everybody else does.
And if anyone says anything to annoy you, just go, oh!
Yeah.
Hey!
Oh!
I mean, if you want, you could borrow Stevie Tortellini's line.
Oh, my. How about the hat?
I don't know about that.
Could borrow the line? Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so if, New York, it's the melting pot of the world. It's the city that never sleeps. It's the granddaddy of them all. We've talked about this.
City of Brotherly Love.
City of Brotherly Love.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Windy City.
Yep.
But yeah, you can get a lot of different things on pizza. So maybe if you're in line and you happen to look up and you see that they have a meatball slice,
Sure.
you can say, I'll take a slice of meatball. And then when you bite into it, you say, whoa, that's a spicy meatball. You got to do the thing with your hand.
Oh, if you don't do the hand, what is it?
Yeah, where like all of your fingers and your thumb are pinched together.
That's a spicy meatball.
That's not bad.
I feel like one too many syllables I did. I'll get it down.
Well, you have to add extra syllables. That's
a one spicy meatball. I don't need that's a one spicy meatball. That's where it is.
No, that's what I do.
Is it?
That's a spicy meatball.
I think it sounds better coming out of Jersey Steve though than fake Jersey Kyle.
Yeah.
But one of the only story.
Are you gonna? By the way, you're gonna look up my brother when you're in town because he every now and then he makes a trip up to New York City for.
Oh
some
my
work
goodness! No,
stuff.
let him know I'm going to be there, please. I'd love for him to buy me dinner and a cigar.
Maybe you can bring Joey to work with him.
Yeah, right. No, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to run into your brother Mike. Maybe go to the Yankee game.
Yeah,
root on the Phillies. When I was there, I wasn't 21. I was anywhere between 18 and 20. And one of our friends who we were there with decided he wanted to sprint across the street. Now, I don't know the streets because I've only been there once, but it was to get to the Macy's, which is like the original Macy's, the double.
Fifth Ave.
So he runs diagonal across this intersection to get to Macy's. And I said, I don't care. I'm sure it's neat, but I've seen a Macy's. I'm not going to, whatever. So my friend and I stand outside this Macy's, and we're kind of leaning against the wall. And in my biggest moment of pride ever, Steve, somebody walking down the road comes up to us and asks us directions.
Oh, like
we're New Yorkers.
Like you're a native.
Like we were from the area. Like and it was something.
You're probably wearing a shirt that says Big Apple.
Right? And it was directions, like the dumbest thing ever. Like, where's Central Park? Mm-hmm. Yeah, head towards the green thing. Hey, whoa, back up.
Toots, you see a tree, you keep walking.
Back up a second, okay? I don't want to have to have us talk again. Yeah, that's my biggest point of pride. I felt like a genuine New Yorker until 6 hours later. I had my grocery bag of stupid souvenirs that I had tied up to one of those pig pen corrals that they use for New Year's Eve, and the clock struck midnight, and I started walking, realized I forgot my crap, went back, somebody stole my $4 New York stocking cap that I bought from a street side vendor.
$4, huh?
And yeah, I was like, I guess I'm not a real New Yorker after all. A moment of shame.
No.
Followed the moment of glory.
First sign that you're not a real New Yorker is the fact that you were in Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Absolutely. There's no question. But biggest mistake ever.
But after somebody asked you for directions, did you I'm sure that very briefly you thought I could do this. I could live here.
Oh yeah.
I got this handled.
Yeah, I definitely thought about it and then realized that I would never ever want to live there.
No, terrible.
We have a listener. I want to say his name is James. I see him on Snapchat, communicated with him a few times. James either lives there now or did very recently. Maybe he can show me the ropes. Maybe he can be my guide like we had Zach and Adam.
Yeah, for the Boston
show us in Boston. So James, if you're listening to this, I'll be in your neck of the woods this weekend. Hit me up on Snapchat. I need to know where I don't want to go to the bar you see on TV where everybody's at. I need to know where the
says the guy that specifically flew to Boston to go to the bar that you see on TV.
You? I don't want to be with all the tourists, Steve. I'm past that. I'm recognized as a local New Yorker now.
It's true. I have to ask you one thing. When we were in Boston, you took we took garbage merch with us, and we put stickers around the city.
Oh, done deal.
Do you still have stickers?
Yes, I think I do have a few.
Okay.
I'll be plastic. Yeah, street posts, random spots in the city in Manhattan for sure.
Yeah, like on the back of a yellow cab.
Yeah. I told Katie, this is essentially my trip. We're doing things I want to do, it seems.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Like the world's biggest comic shop is in Manhattan, Midtown Comics. Definitely going to be going there.
Now, you should take a trip to Red Bank, New Jersey. Go to Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash. It's an infamous comic book shop in New Jersey.
What now?
Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash?
Never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, is it run by Kevin Smith or something?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's run by him, but it's based. It's Jay and Silent Bob, the characters from Clerks and
Now, how close to that? How close to Weehawken are we talking?
Hour and 20-minute train ride.
Ooh, real busy. Midtown Comics.
Just trying to give you some
Right?
some options.
It's a long train ride.
Well, you get to see some of the Garden State.
I mean, I've seen enough. I mean, I stayed in... The last time we were there, we stayed in Newark, and my hotel had a barbed wire fence. I saw enough of Jersey that day.
Good God.
Yeah, we took the path in.
Yep.
Felt like we might be shivved at any moment while walking to and from our hotel.
Rightly so.
Yeah. Newark.
Yeah.
A bustling town of that Bruce Springsteen has no doubt sung about numerous times. Bruce Springsteen doesn't sing about Newark. When he's singing New Jersey, he's not talking about Newark.
Well, he does talk about the Meadowlands.
Yeah. There's no chance he's ever set foot in Newark outside of whatever the big arena there would be, if there is one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll be in New York. I can't wait. I can't wait for stories.
So anyone that listens to the podcast that wants to meet up with Kyle and his wife on their anniversary trip, their romantic getaway, you can just shoehorn your way in. He told you they're going to be at Jay's Pizza on 36th every single day. Every day, Jay's Pizza, Lower Manhattan. And if you got tickets to the taping of the $100,000 Pyramid, come say hi. Sit next to each other. Me and Michael be hanging out. That's Strahan for all you people. I call him Michael. Yeah, MS. No, probably. I bet he doesn't go by that. He doesn't go by MS. Now I know that you're kind of up against it here. Do you want to? Yeah, let's hit it. We're gonna do it. Yeah, I don't like skipping that. You sure? Yeah. Fast 5, 6, 7, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kentucky Derby. Oh, go horses! All right. How about them? We'll catch up on that one after the fact. How about them ponies? I mean, hard to believe just if I got through the slop like that. We'll talk about it coming up. Rudy Giuliani. What happened to him? He was quote unquote America's mayor after 9/11. A possible presidential candidate. And look where he is now. Unbelievable. What a weird fall. John McCain. I don't know if you read the news on him. Yeah. Not doing well. Joe Biden went to visit him, and Biden said that McCain is still, like, basically on his deathbed, still very concerned about the direction of the country, and said that he does not want the current president, Donald Trump, at his funeral. Ooh. I never want to have a conversation with somebody saying, like, I want them at my funeral, but I don't want him at my funeral. But yeah, that's a guest list for the funeral, by the way. I mean, I know politicians have to do it, but that's weird, isn't it? It is weird. I guess I never really realized that was a thing. Yeah, me neither. That you had to do. Prince, I don't know if it's Louis or Louis. Oh, is that the new baby? What do you mean new baby? If you mean ninth in line to rule the world, then yes. Yeah, go little guy, go. Yeah, go Louis. I don't know if it's Louis or S. I believe it. It's got to be Louis. Probably. I was going to say probably Louis. It's got an S on the end. Yeah, but so did like King Louis. Did it? Yeah, it wasn't like Louie. Boy, this is just showing our idiocy again. We need to stop that. We need to minimize the time we show how stupid we are. And finally, Arrested Development. I don't know if you're a fan. I'm familiar with the show. I know that what is his name? Jeffrey Tambor. Jeffrey Tambor. Yeah, he signed on for a new season, right?
No, well, that's old news, Steve. The new season is coming out in 2 weeks.
Oh.
And it was confirmed by the Netflix president.
Wasn't there something?
He was fired from Transparent. I don't know if the show was canceled, but he was fired from his show Transparent, which he had won a bunch of awards for, Critics' Choice and Emmy Awards. And he was fired after a transgendered crew member or castmate accused him of rubbing his groin on her and harassing her.
Okay.
Ended up being that he was let go. So the Netflix president did confirm that he is in this season.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, big news. Netflix, that was one of their first big things Netflix did about 5 years ago. They bought the Arrested Development library, which is only 3 seasons, but was a huge pop culture phenomenon and icon. And then brought it back for a 4th season, which was received with mixed reviews. 5th season coming out in a few weeks after like 4 years off. But you look at that cast in hindsight. It's got Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, Jeffrey Tambor, Michael Cera, and they made it work so that they were all back together for this to do a 5th season.
That's how you got to do it. It always sucks when they revive a show, but somebody's not on it, and they always, because then they inevitably have to say like, "Oh, he's in Africa helping the starving children," or and they always have to come up with some hokey premise as to where the other guy is.
And I know you're not a huge fan, but that's what season 4 was. Because they couldn't get all of those actors together at once, so they all shot standalone episodes.
Oh, okay.
And then they tied the story in at the end. But yeah, it was weirdly done.
Yeah.
But yeah, coming back, it's a huge fan for that show. Is still 16 years after it initially aired, still massively popular. Prince Louis. Prince Louis.
So he's what'd you say, 9th? Is that serious?
No, but if you think about it,
well, because you've
got Prince Charles, Camilla. If Charles kicks the bucket, doesn't it go to Camilla, or does she get passed because she's not?
No, because the first the William and Kate's daughter, is it Charlotte?
Yeah.
Isn't she the first female?
She would bypass Camilla?
No, that's not right.
I don't know how that works.
Because it used to be like Charlotte's now the first one that won't be passed by a male just for being male. I don't know. There's some big... who cares? No, they don't do anything.
You mean, who cares? The world was encaptured by the birth of a baby.
Maybe the world was, but I think that baby sucks. How about that?
I know it's for only a very small portion of the listening audience, but Steve, the Stugatz is strong in you. Taking a run at a baby.
Well, look, I mean, I'm sure the baby's nice and all, but the thing's days old, and it's dumb. It doesn't know anything yet. It's never going to be the king.
So in order, it goes Queen Elizabeth, Prince Charles, Prince William, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, then Harry. So I think we all know how this ends.
Because
Harry's murdering all of them.
Right, because it's because William is older than Harry.
Yes.
So William and all of his offspring
would be before.
But it used to be where, the way it was in the olden days. Actually, no, up until like 5 years ago, the new kid. What's his name?
Like the one last week,
Johnny?
Louis,
the
dumb one.
Yeah, Louis would pass Charlotte just because he's male, she's female.
Oh, but and it might still be that way.
No. But up until because she's the first one, because some law was passed like 5 years ago, and she holds her position.
Oh, okay, yeah, March 2015, that was changed. You're right.
So give me that rundown again.
Okay, Charles,
snooze. The guy's like a 90.
Yeah, he is. I mean,
he let Princess Diana go.
Barely 70, but
come on.
Prince William, Duke of Cambridge.
Prince William, okay, I was at his wedding.
Yeah, so you're pretty much friends.
Yeah, BFFs.
Prince George.
Who's George again?
That's their first son.
Oh, they got 3.
3 kids.
Okay.
I mean, you look at William, you look at Kate.
Mm-hmm.
If you're William, you do whatever you need to do to make sure Kate's not leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, William's hairline and my hairline are in a race to the finish line. Okay? And then you got Princess Charlotte.
Okay. Then you got beautiful, beautiful young little girl.
You got Prince Louis.
Dumb kid.
After that, Prince Harry, And then it goes to Prince Andrew.
Who is that?
Duke of York. He is
Never heard of him.
58 years old.
Oh, so that must be... So
he's the second son of the Queen, so he's the Harry of Queen Elizabeth. So this idiot gets to live off the riches of the royals, while Charles is the one who's in the news for murdering his first wife.
That's gotta suck, man. So at one point, he was just behind Charles.
Yeah.
And then
he got married.
All of these kids came along.
Yeah.
He's just got to be sitting there like, you have got to be kidding me. Put them all on a plane together, and hopefully something bad happens.
Isn't it better, though? Like, don't you want to be the royal who never has to do anything? You get all the riches and the wealth.
What do? They give speeches and do fundraisers, and they like ring bells and
but you look at, like,
play flutes.
You look at what... yes. The long line of British royal flute players.
And bell ringers. Yeah, that's about. I've pretty much exhausted my knowledge of the throne.
Well, you nailed it. I think you nailed it. But no, I mean, you look at what Charles did. He was in like the spotlight and everything he's done, where he married, found Kate, courted Kate. Where you look at Harry, guy was in the military, lived in America to pork models and celebrities for a few years.
Yeah, he lived. I hate the saying, but he lived his best life.
Yes. And he found a celebrity. He finally found one. He's like, hey, I want to shack up with you. Come back to England with me.
Yeah. Hey, you're coming with me back to the old country. Yeah. And we're getting married. I don't care what everyone says about it. You're American. Cool.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're a Brit now.
Yeah. Oh, cool. You just need citizenship? Yeah. Good thing I'm a prince. Done deal.
So does she have to... Does she have dual citizenship?
I think so. I think that's how that has to work.
Oh, man. That's got to be great.
Never knew this. Excluded from the line of succession, Steve, are illegitimate children.
Okay.
And Catholics.
What?
Can you believe that?
Illegitimate children. Okay, I get that.
Yeah.
But Catholics.
Yeah. So you're telling me if Harry comes home tomorrow, goes, hey, Ma. Oh, start Ma. Oh. That was totally unintentional.
Okay.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
Were we done?
There's 3 more to go. We're done. That's fine.
Okay. First on my list, WWE Backlash.
I don't say this lightly, Steve. That it was far and away the worst show they've put on in years. It was a horribly booked pay-per-view, ran way over.
Okay, well,
almost done at midnight.
I cannot wait to come back to it. Then next, Stan Van Gundy.
Oh man,
what? Those are your Pistons.
Yeah, I was a fan of the guy. I appreciated his
shooting hoops,
bucket dropping stuff, balls through the hoop. Yeah.
By the way, I got a basketball net post out in the garage.
Hang on. A basketball net post?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's the net and then the post.
A basketball hoop pole.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just got the post. Yeah. Throw a strapper on top of the car. Mm-hmm. No, I was sad to see him go. I know he didn't have a successful tenure, but I was sad to see him go.
Next, the Kentucky Derby. This is where the similarities in the Fast Five begins.
Oh, man. The slowest race run in years, Steve. A bunch of slop. Rained all afternoon. Flood warnings at Churchill Downs in Kentucky. Justify the favorite. Finished at 3-1.
Rudy Giuliani is the next one on the list. Rudy Giuliani. America's mayor.
Same thing you said. What happened? What a weird... But you know what? Why put him on TV? What a buffoon.
Yeah, he sure seems like he is... like the crazy uncle at Christmas or whatever.
Is he sabotaging Trump, but Trump doesn't know it?
Oh, boy, I would love to hear that.
They might just all be very stupid.
Finally, John McCain.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to look at him as anything other than a war hero. But boy, what a weird late life situation for him where... Yeah. He was the ire of the Republican Party, was the salvation for a lot of people who in the Democratic Party when it came to some of those bills that he essentially voted down, to now still being a member of the Senate but being stricken at home by brain cancer, which is the same brain cancer that befell Joe Biden's son. That's why he went and visited, as well as
well, apparently they're pretty close.
Yeah,
too. They were.
Yeah, so I mean, so Joe Biden knows what he's going through, and obviously the strife. But the news came out that John McCain wants Barack Obama to give a eulogy, and that Donald Trump will not be invited, but he wants Mike Pence there at his funeral.
Wow. That's something.
Can you? I mean, probably the longest-serving Republican senator, I would guess.
Now, what does? Because that obviously is not going to go over well with Trump. Do you just show up? Because you're the president, you can do what you want.
Oh no.
Do you show up?
Makes a spectacle.
Yeah, but then if he shows up, he can just be like, "Yeah, I was invited. Of course I was."
Oh man,
he's just going to lie about it.
I wouldn't surprise me because it'll be like a showman thing.
Do you think
I'm going to be so embarrassed?
Do you think he takes a shot at him if he doesn't go to the funeral?
Oof. I mean, we've said it how many times about nails and coffins, and you take a shot at, which he already has, though. What's it matter? He already took a shot at John McCain, the POW.
Yeah.
Said he likes war veterans who didn't get caught.
Who don't get captured.
So what does it matter if he takes a shot at him after he's passed? There's no different. Nothing is going... Yep. He can't say anything that is going to turn people against him. It's going to be actions, and it doesn't matter at this point. Honestly, there will probably be a passive-aggressive tweet after John McCain passes.
Yeah. Okay, before that, we had Rudy Giuliani.
Went on television and it essentially... admitted that Trump lied about not knowing about the hush payment to porn star Stormy Daniels, which then Trump came back out and said, "I never said I didn't know about it," where there's audio of him saying, No, I have no idea about it's. Listen, it's again,
so easy.
And I said it just about John McCain. Nothing like that's going to matter. The only thing that is going to impeach Donald Trump now or get Donald Trump out of office is going to be the investigation into Russia by Robert Mueller. That's the only thing.
Yep.
It's if the things he did during the campaign, whether it be the calling all Mexicans rapists, whether it be making fun of a disabled reporter,
saying he could go out on Fifth Avenue and
shoot someone,
shoot anyone, and nobody would care.
That was just the campaign, and he still got elected. I mean, it's not going to change now by what he says. And honestly, to a lot of people, it's just endearing that he is that way.
Okay, so sorry. Before that, we had the Kentucky Derby.
Justify the favorite closes at 3-1.
Bunch of mudders out there.
Yeah,
that's what they call them, right?
Yeah, mudding ponies,
mud horses.
Yeah. Weakest field, weakest race in years. Finished about 6 seconds off the pace of most Kentucky Derbies. Justify wins going away at 3-1. Bob Baffert, the trainer, more than wealthy. Had 2 horses in the field this year, Steve.
Next one was the Detroit Pistons and Stan Van Gundy.
Yeah, I had to let SVG go. That's what we call him in the biz.
What biz is that?
Being a fan.
Of course.
Yeah, I had to let him go. And by had to let him go, I mean I don't know that they had to. They did, though. A lot of money. He just wasn't making very good rosters. It's still sad to see. He was one of the few, because he had autonomy. He was president of basketball operations and the coach. So he was one of the more outspoken professional sports coaches or managers about everything in the world. Him, Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr are guys who could say those things without the ire of the organization and fans.
Right.
So, he seemed like a great guy. It just didn't pan out here.
And finally, WWE Backlash took place last night, right?
Fans
are not happy.
Yeah, the first co-branded pay-per-view of the post-superstar shakeup WWE roster.
Fans not happy with the main event. I mean, I know, of course, why they're not happy, but I'll let you explain.
Yeah, now this is, again, another case of WWE shoving Roman Reigns down our throat here, Steve. Now, Roman Reigns, not the champion. WWE desperately wants him to be the guy, the man. They have him against Samoa Joe, Samoa Joe is already one of the best on the microphone as a heel worker. They main event an extra long pay-per-view that was already bad top to bottom anyway. And they have him go out there, and as usual, they have Roman Reigns overcome the odds. He gets out of the coquina clutch, which you just don't do. That Samoa Joe submission
the cocaine clutch.
Puts him to sleep, for crying out loud. Roman Reigns defies the odd. The lasting image from WWE Backlash, Steve. Fans leaving as they cut to the crowd right after the finish.
God. I apologize, folks. I really do. I don't know why.
WrestleCast! It's me only! I'm bringing it back!
It's funny, I was going through some stuff on my computer the other day and I actually found the image, the album artwork that we came up with for WrestleCast.
I would do it alone, but it would be that for like 50 minutes twice a month. And if anybody would enjoy that, I'll do it. I'll just need a key to Steve's house to do this twice a month. But I don't think that would be our very first umbrella podcast, Steve.
It would be in the Living in Style podcast network.
Never took off like we hoped.
No, not exactly. You can download, subscribe, and review the show on iTunes, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play, TuneIn, Stitcher, YouTube, and Libsyn. StephenKyle.Libsyn, LIBSYN.com, on Twitter at Stephen Kyle, Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle. And you can go to both of those, Twitter and Facebook. You can vote in the most recent poll that we have up. Can you pull up the Twitter results?
Yeah. 28 votes.
28 votes now.
57% say yes. They are meanie heads.
Okay, so this was the poll about if the feud with the side gig is legitimate or are we being babies? Mm-hmm. Hey! Look at that. The tides have turned. On Facebook, 56% yes, they are being meanie heads. So we appreciate that. We didn't really digging in with those harsh words.
Yeah,
meanie heads.
And again, no conjecture. The fate of the podcast rests on this poll.
Yeah, if we lose this poll, we don't get to 100. That means we have 5 episodes or less left.
Yeah, no, 0.
0 episodes left. No episode next week if we lose this poll.
Podcast goes, or if this podcast already went south, if this poll goes south, I'm not showing up next week.
All right. So get to Facebook.com/Stephen Kyle or on Twitter at Stephen Kyle. Vote in that poll. Make sure we win that poll. Just click on our beautiful faces to ensure that we win that poll. And if not, we will not see you next week.